Assalamu alaikum, Eid al-Fitr Mubarak to all of you PTV World viewers, whether you're in Pakistan or all across the globe. I am Umar Khalid Butt, and with me is
Shabnam Riaz. And Eid Mubarak to all of you. And Umar, you didn't say Eid Mubarak to me.
Eid Mubarak, Shabnam.
And I'm sitting right next to you and you ignored me.
You called me this morning and you said that we had to color coordinate our clothes.
Oh, I see. So that's fantastic. You know, you being late and not arriving on time is all my fault now because you couldn't find right clothes.
Well, you know, I was tired. It's
Everybody's
Eid
tired.
And I have just fasted for one whole month and I just want to relax.
Well, you know, there's no rest for the wicked. So here we are, and it's day 2 of Eid, and we hope that you've been having a wonderful Eid. The first day is full of, you know, hectic activities where we're enjoying meeting everybody, all those special people in our lives. And, you know, for me, Eid is, you know, very special in the sense that because of busy routines and hectic sort of, you know, schedules, you get to see all the people that you haven't been seeing. And, you know, so most of your time is spent making them feel better and apologizing for not seeing them.
But as a woman, you must have a lot of work on you, because not only do you have to go to these people, but you also have to make food for all the people that come to your place.
And don't forget the aloo ki kheer.
Oh,
That
I love
is, you
that
know,
aloo ki kheer. Ladies and gentlemen, Shabnam makes lovely aloo ki kheer. I hope one day you'll be able to taste that. Now, let me introduce you to our guests. We have got 3 lovely guests today with us. 2 of them belong to our channel, that is PTV World, and we had to drag them in because they also had their own activities, and we said, no, you have to be here. And we have the spouse, a very renowned spouse of one of our anchors. Let me introduce them to you one by one. On my very right is Meera Hashmi. Meera, you are not only the spouse of Waqas Majid Khan, but you also belong to a very eminent family, that is the Faiz Ahmed Faiz family. You're the granddaughter of Faiz Ahmed Faiz, and you yourself are somebody who is to be reckoned with in your own field. I am impressed with her. She has, I follow her on Twitter. She has a very peculiar Twitter handle, and she talks about stuff that we all relate to very much in our society. Thank you very much to have joined us today, Meera. We'll continue our discussion during the course of the show. Next is...
Did you say Eid Mubarak?
Oh, sorry, Meera, Eid Mubarak.
Remember, this is not a talk show. This is a relaxed Eid show, okay?
Oh, we're relaxed
So Eid
now.
Mubarak to you, Meera.
Eid Mubarak.
And next is Waqas Majid Khan, our co-anchor, our anchor, renowned personality, now from PTV World, but also an actor from television that we have been seeing over the past few years, and a well-read person and a person with a very sarcastic sense of humor as well. Waqas Majid Khan, Eid Mubarak, and welcome to our show.
Thank you. Needs no introduction, right?
Last but not the least, please, if Shabnam, you could introduce our last guest.
I hope you haven't forgotten our last guest's name,
No,
and that's the reason that you're
No,
giving me this
Fiza Sajawal,
introduction.
how can I forget?
Okay, right,
I
right.
do news with her. She'll kill me if I forget her name.
And as Umar said, last but not least, we're very happy to have Fiza Sajawal with us. And Fiza, it's been, you know, we've had to drag you away from your husband today on Eid, and, you know, from us to him as well, Eid Mubarak, and sorry for that. And Eid Mubarak to you as well.
Thank you very much.
And
We
is it
wanted
your
to do it,
first
but-
Eid,
After-
Fiza,
yes,
after
Yeah,
marriage?
after my, after
How
my
does it
marriage.
feel post-marriage?
It's very lovely, very different. Obviously, it was very great before the marriage as well, but it's a different experience and it's great.
All right. Meera, we are talking about marriage and post-marriage. Hers is the first Eid after marriage. You've had quite a few Eids.
Yes,
You've
we've
got
had
2
many
lovely
Eids.
children.
We had many Eids. We've been married for, what, 18 years now.
Mashallah,
mashallah.
mashallah.
So, and yes, we have 2 kids. So we've had a lot of Eids together.
Right. And if I could ask you the, you know, usual question, how did you 2 meet?
How did we meet?
Accidentally.
I
As
don't believe
always.
that.
Yeah, certainly not by design. We kind of sort of crossed paths when we were very young, during sort of what would be called high school, I guess.
Okay.
But no sparks flew at that
At
point.
that time, okay.
And then he exited the institution, and that was that.
So absence made the heart grow fonder.
No, well, not really. No. No, then we met a couple of years later. We were doing a play together for this private theatre company.
Right.
And interestingly enough, that's also how my parents met.
Oh, fantastic. So it was history repeating itself.
Yeah, I guess.
Always does.
Wonderful.
But in a good way.
But
I
some
In a
guess.
good
people
way,
learn
of
from
course,
it.
yes.
Some people learn from history, others don't. They're doomed to repeat it.
Can we put you in that bracket of people who are doomed to repeat their mistakes?
Isn't that what I said?
No, but some people and you, I mean, how is married life for you, Vikas? In all of these years, you've got 2 lovely children as well. How different do you feel in those 18 years post-marriage?
I don't feel any different than what I felt when I was 4 years old. And now I'm 45 and I feel exactly the way I felt when I was 4. So,
Which is why I often say I have 3 children.
Oh, but that's always the truth in every marriage, I would say.
I suppose so.
The children and the husband.
What's the
only way to
what is the ingredient of a successful marriage, Meera?
What's the ingredient? Lots of patience, obviously a lot of affection, and I think giving each other space.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
very important.
Yeah. And
Agreed.
I certainly believe it has to be an equal partnership.
Oh,
It
yeah.
can't be a boss and
Oh,
you
that's
know,
so true.
subject.
I disagree.
Right.
I think she's
Okay.
the boss. I mean, I accept it.
Well,
Always the boss.
all intelligent husbands, give that statement. They always do because they know that, in the beginning, there's the authority. Okay, we surrender, and
No, I think it's sort of there's
It's
a
a mutual,
balance that has
yeah.
to be achieved. Like there's certain things
Yeah.
that I leave to him because I don't have no confidence in those matters, like
Okay.
stuff like buying a car or
Right.
whatever. And then there are other things that he will leave to me because
well, that's the best thing about
Yeah.
marriage, isn't it? Because what you do is you're together in this relationship where your weaknesses or whatever you're not good at, they'll be compensated from
Yeah.
your partner, and then it's a wonderful place to be in as well. So, what are those warning signs? Okay, Vikas will ask you. We have those things going on that what
Warning
women
signs.
say and what they actually mean are to. Sometimes you have those words, that are sort of triggers, and you'll think that okay, she just said fine. And that fine doesn't actually mean fine, it may mean something else. So what are those words that come up in the relationship, that okay, she doesn't really mean this right now, but
Those
be careful.
code words that
Yeah.
mean something else when she's saying something else.
Go ahead, make my day. That's the only code word I can come up with. No, there are no such code words because I generally don't do anything that she doesn't approve of.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh,
This
you
is-
see.
but
he's the perfect, where's the trophy? We didn't bring one.
We
the
didn't
perfect
bring one,
husband.
but we'll give you one
I will
post-show.
say
Thank you.
I'm not one of those women who says one thing and means another. I try to be upfront and honest. So if I'm upset about something, I will say it.
Okay, right. So
no
he
kind
needs
of-
no hints.
But
no
no.
subtle hints needed.
Meera, that has rubbed on him as well because I've always found him, at least since I know him here in PTV world, to be very straightforward. He says whatever he feels like, at least to me. I don't know how he does it with other people, but whatever he wants to tell me, he'll tell me without beating an eyelid. And I think that's very good that at least you are who you are and what you are on your face.
Oh, that's a
That's
good
very
quality.
important
That's true.
because we are very two-faced in our society. Don't you feel that with the majority of the people that you meet?
Don't think not just in our society.
All over the world.
I think we're sort of putting on a face and performing every single day. But I can also understand why some people don't want to be upfront. There are many reasons for that. I won't get into that.
Okay.
But I want to know what the newlywed.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, Fizza.
All at
Okay, we'll
newlywed
come
Fizza.
towards you now. And Fizza, tell us, life, how does it change? What's your advice for young people as well who are watching the show
Like
today?
us, you see, like the
Yeah.
both of us.
I was listening to Meera and Vikas, and Meera said that she's very upfront and she has to say what he has to. This is a very good thing. Initially, I think it's a girl's habit that they don't really say what they want.
Okay.
I tried this at the beginning of my life. It's been 1 year now.
Okay.
In July, it will be a complete year. So in the beginning, I said, okay, yes, it's all right. I used to say these things to Rahil. But then I realized that boys do not like this, or sometimes they do not, understand what we are saying.
Right.
So it is very right, and it doesn't mean at all that they do not want to do that thing. They care about you. So it is better that if you say whatever you want to say it directly to them.
Say what you mean what you say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we should do that. And
Anyways,
we are
as
practicing
people say,
this
men are
thing,
from Mars, women are from Venus.
and we
How
are
true is
practicing
that?
this thing in my marriage, and you said that the advice for the newlyweds, I think, be very. it's really good after marriage, you know. As far as my experience is concerned, you know, I'm really happy. And if you are honest and if you're taking things lightly, you are not expecting some unrealistic things.
That's
then,
very important.
Yeah,
That's
then
true.
your life would
I
be
think the
really
element
good.
of friendship as well is very,
Yes,
very important in a
exactly.
marriage, and that's something that we see that many people don't focus on. Because if you look at our system, you know, you have the sort of people getting to know each other when they're getting married. Then you have the arranged marriage system as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think there are any rights or wrongs, or you can't put any specific formulas to it. But the main thing I think is that, you know, to understand each other and be friends first.
Yeah,
And
and you
then-
know, Shabnam, we deducted something like me and Raheel, that as the time goes by, love and friendship grows. You know,
That's true.
Yes, exactly, because mostly between the couples, they have a very lively and happy days before, and then you know the conflict starts growing and everything. But
Oh,
yeah,
all right.
no,
The
no. But
conflict
in our case,
Yeah.
we are getting close and good in our relationship as the time is passing by. Yeah.
Right, okay, fine.
All right. So, Meera, do you go through that phase in the very beginning when there is that everybody loves each other and you forget and you kind of accommodate the other one? Then comes the time when you're very straightforward and honest to each other, and then you kind of decipher who your partner is and he deciphers who you are as a person. Does that phase take longer, or in your case, was it something that you knew before you got married?
Well, we were actually seeing each other for quite a while before we got married, and our parents knew about it, then they approved and everything. So I think we kind of figured out, you know, what was what fairly early on. But again, I think, you know, that thing about your wearing love goggles,
Yeah.
there's a lot that you overlook, there's a lot that
Yeah,
you
that's true.
forgive from both sides.
True.
But I think it evolves much faster once you have kids.
Yeah.
Because now you have something else to live for, something else to work
Something
for.
else that strengthens that bond, isn't it?
It
Because
does.
it
Because
is-
now you're, I mean, we sort of have not explosive but mild arguments about, you know, okay, well, the kids are doing this, so the kids should do that and stuff like that. But one thing we agree on is that I think our first priority in life is our kids and their happiness, and whatever that takes, and everything else is secondary.
Because there are lots of things that you have to bring into, you know, as we, you know, Fizza said as well, expectations. Sometimes, you know, before a marriage, people are caught in the excessive festivities and the functions that are going on, and nobody's really focusing on the thing that actually these are two individual people with different mindsets coming together. So to prepare them as well, you know, to prepare your thinking, your compatibility, that's very important as well. And, you know, make no mistake, marriage is hard work.
Oh,
You
yes,
have
it
to
is.
put a
Yes.
lot of commitment and investment into it as well. So
Because when you're young, you know, you're all idealistic and
Yeah.
you're also a bit stupid, and you think, I live on love and fresh air.
Yeah.
But when
That can pay the
practical
bills.
matters
Yeah.
come in, you know, you realize that if I'm, let's say I'm worried about something at work, or I'm preoccupied by something that has to do with the kids, you take it out on each other.
true.
But then you kind of figure out, that's what's happening, so it's
True.
okay, and you move on, you get over it.
And
Would you like
concluded and
to?
experienced it.
Would you like
Vikas
to
is very
hop in?
quiet. I think
He
he's
is so
listening and he's absorbing
subdued.
for
What's
for
happening?
future reference. Are you?
Vikas, please
Vikas?
tell us. Get a penny for your thoughts.
I'm the guest here. And you guys didn't wish me Eid Mubarak, by the way. You wished her,
that
you wished her,
true?
and you guys completely ignored me.
Really?
I just thought I was going to bring that up at some point.
God.
I'm just
No.
really sorry, Vikas. Eid
Bahut
Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak. I'll say it in Urdu.
Dil ki gehraiyon se Eid Mubarak.
All right.
We'll even send you an Eid card after the show. Okay?
Your greetings have been accepted.
All right, thank you. That's so sweet of you. Speaking of Eid, Eid is a festive occasion for us elders as well, but also for the children.
Who elders?
Well,
You?
us, you.
You. Are you speaking for himself? Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm the kid. She's the elder. I'm
That's
joking.
pushing it. That's pushing it.
All right. As far as the kids are concerned, Eid is mostly for them. They wear the new clothes. They get the Eidi. Amongst
Eidi. That's so good. But then, okay, who got Eidi today? Who is dishing out the Eidi?
No, we
me.
don't. Yeah, we don't get Eid. No, you, I'm sure, still.
You
Yeah,
must have got a lot of
exactly.
Eid on this Eid,
Yes,
huh? especially
because
from your in-laws and
as well,
everywhere.
yes, not just from.
So are you sort of like planning your next holiday now with it?
And I've received Eid not in just the form of cash, of
Right.
course, Eid Jora and
Of
everything.
course,
You know, from my mother-in-law.
that must be wonderful,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yes, so it was
Okay,
very
right.
lovely in that way.
Yeah.
Do your kids, both your kids, do they kind of ask for stuff when Eid comes around that we'd like to have this, we'd like to have these clothes, or is it something that you automatically do for them?
Money.
All right.
Yeah, just give us some money.
All right.
I remember my
That's it.
kids saying to me, you know, that when we were younger, Mum, and you know, we used to have a birthday and used to call people round, and we used to be so worried that they'll give us money because you're going to take it away. I was like, well, you were so young, you didn't know what to do with
But
it. I
we
was
as-
buying you stuff, you know.
But we as kids
But-
remember as well taking money out. This is Eid for us was for Eid,
Yeah.
for taking out
Yeah.
money from
Yeah.
our puppos, from our parents, from our
It's a
grandparents.
beautiful part of it. Okay, so now let's get on to something lighter, right? We're talking about Eid and everything. Let's, you know, lighten up the mood right now. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you a sentence, okay? And this is going to be a start of a story. And so when I give you that sentence, just carry on that story for 30 seconds. Will you time 30 seconds, Umar?
All right, I
yeah?
will.
You
I
time
have
30
my watch.
seconds. And
Why
then,
do I? No, the person who's speaking the least should do
okay, we'll
that.
start with Vikas.
All right,
Right, fine.
Which way are you going to go then? This way or that way?
You know what
It's
we
going to
say.
ruin your sequence of events.
It's okay, we'll handle it.
Start with Fizza.
No, we'll handle it. We'll start with you, Vikas.
Nobody
then we'll
wants
move
to take responsibility.
Mira, and then we'll move to Fizza, and let's see how this story evolves. Okay? So are you timing this? We have
All
30
right, yes,
seconds.
I am.
Shall we give them 30 seconds or a minute?
Oh,
30
minute
seconds
no,
is
no,
more than
30
enough.
Minute is
Yeah.
too much. 30
Yeah,
seconds.
Let's make it
30
15.
seconds.
30 seconds.
All right.
Okay. Right. Vikas, so your 30 seconds is just about to start, and the beginning of the sentence of the story is, by the time he reached the station, she was gone.
I'm supposed to like
Continue it whatever way you like for 30 seconds.
by the time he reached the station, she was gone, and he decided to throw himself on the tracks.
Your 30
have to
seconds.
go on for 30 seconds.
Just 15 seconds have passed.
Luckily, the tracks were really filthy, and he changed his mind. I still have more to
Yes.
Seven
Then he
seconds.
decided to have a smoke, and then he greeted the station master and said, "What I don't know what came over me," and decided to leave the station.
All right, 30 seconds are off. Fizza,
No,
let's
it's
go.
moving this
okay,
way.
Mira.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
So he walks to a cafe to have breakfast, and when he walks in, he sees that she's actually sitting there because she actually got the message wrong. She thought she had to wait for him at the cafe outside the station
Wow.
and not at the station itself. But he stopped in his tracks and he thought, do I really want to go up to her?
Your 30 seconds are off. Fizza.
Right, Fizza. You're completing this, by the way.
Yeah, all right. And you know, when he was smoking and when he was trying to commit suicide and then he changed his mind, like Vikas said, the reason why he stopped was that because a beautiful girl was crossing by and he said, oh no, I should.
Oh, we see a third angle in the story. All right.
Thinking better after.
There was a beautiful girl going by. And when he was following her, he goes to that cafe.
Fizza, what if your husband did that?
no,
what
your
you
husbands
just
are really
narrated.
sweet, aren't
What
they?
if your husband did exactly what you had narrated?
Well, I think we ruined the story.
Okay,
we come up
I
with a
will ask
new one?
Vikas, what is the moral of this story?
The moral of the story is
Never give up. Sorry.
that's a good one.
There are always other fish in the sea.
Right, and you?
I was going to say, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
I like this group. So optimistic. Okay, now let's have another one. I wrote these down. Which one did I have? Okay, right. We'll start with you, Mira.
Okay.
The roller coaster stopped upside down, and all the passengers started screaming.
But the man who was operating the roller coaster just looked on passively and turned the key to keep it in its place and walked off.
Do we have some time left?
Yes, we still have. We have 10 seconds.
Oh God, I don't think the story is going to go anywhere. So he walked off, nonchalantly, smoking a cigarette while everybody was panicking. and he got into a cab and drove away.
All right.
Okay, Vikas.
Vikas.
And as he drove away, he looked behind in his rearview mirror and saw those people hanging upside down, screaming for their lives, and he derived some kind of a perverse pleasure out of their misery, and had a wry smile on his face, and he just looked at himself in the mirror, gave
And he
himself a
thought, how
smile,
poetic.
and just kept on driving.
All right.
Are we out of time? Or do
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Fiza.
All right, so the
He's driving.
He's driving?
Yeah, you can't go back to the
All right.
roller coaster.
Actually,
you can.
why
You
he
can,
did-
you can.
why he
it's
did
a
that
scenario.
because he was height phobic and he was enjoying the moment, and the people who were enjoying the moment that people are screaming
All
and
right.
everything, and
Because he was a
when-
sadist, no?
yeah,
Okay.
and it was a couple who was on the right, and the husband was height phobic, and he smiled to his wife, and he said, "Okay, are you happy now?"
All right, Fiza,
Kind of.
you're very husband and new
Yeah,
married. So
you know,
is that the
no, no,
husband,
why is
husband,
missing
husband
her
continues?
husband?
That's the theme of the season,
Today.
man.
Yes.
Come on, that's the theme.
And you know why I come up with this point, height phobic, because Raheel is. And you know, when
Okay.
we went on our honeymoon, I'm very fond of doing everything different. And I
Adventurous.
wanted to, yes, obviously, and I wanted to do parasailing. We were in Langkawi, and I wanted to do parasailing. And he's height phobic. You know what parasailing is? Like they
Yeah.
threw you out in a balloon
Yeah,
in the air. And he was like, when we was about to ride, he was like, "I'm very afraid. Please do not talk to me right now." I was like,
Okay.
"Okay, it's okay. We're really going to enjoy." When
Okay.
we were in the air, I just wanted to calm him down, and I asked, "Are you enjoying?" He said, "Please do not talk to me right now." I was like, "Okay," but it was really good when we
Meera, any
on
such
the boat.
incidents
it
in
was
your
good.
life? Is there any phobia that you have overcome with time?
Not serious phobia, nothing like, heights or anything like that. But yeah, we were just talking about it this morning. I used to be deathly afraid of cockroaches when I was little. And I think I inherited it from my mother. And I always used to scream and shout, and when my father would come and kind of whack it and put it out of its misery.
And then Vikas was there to
And then
kill
the cast
cockroaches
there.
for
Whack
you.
the
But
cockroaches.
interestingly, since I've become a parent,
Yeah.
I've lost that fear
That
to a
is so
great
true.
extent.
That is
So
so
now
true.
I'm the knight in shining armor when my kids are screaming and shouting about some poor
She's
creepy
transferred
crawly.
her fears into the children. And now they're the ones screaming when they see cockroaches. And I'm like, what? It's only a
but it's the
cockroach.
season of cockroaches.
But they'll get
over
over
It
it.
is,
Like
it
I
is.
got over it, they'll get over it too.
Yes.
So,
Right.
I think it's a phase of your life. You kind of,
yeah.
with time.
And I think also it's that thing when you're the grown up in the situation, you have to act like the grown up
It's
in
a
the
role
situation.
reversal then, isn't
So
it? Then
even
you're-
if I'm scared inside, I have to put on this facade, which my mother didn't used to do. She used to just and scream for my father. So I sort of decided to try a different tactic. And okay, even if though I'm screaming inside, I'll just be no, it's just a cockroach. It's all right. I'll take.
You
a
keep
slip
telling
out."
yourself this, to stay strong.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we'll just end this, this thing that we were doing with just one more, and Fiza, you will start this one,
Okay.
and it will conclude here.
Okay.
And I came home from work one day, and I found my house was full of flowers, but I had no idea who sent them.
It's going to go to the husband.
That was not a very good.
It is.
You are not allowed to mention your
And
husband.
it's a pre-marriage scenario or a
or
post-marriage.
could be any scenario. Any scenario.
Remember, you are not you. You were just a fictionary character.
You're not the
You're not
character.
Fiza
character.
Sajawal.
Yeah.
You're not
Isn't it?
Fiza Sajawal.
It's okay. We're
the
giving a
writer.
disclaimer right now for Raheel.
You
this is-
could even be a man.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so when I stepped in my home, I saw that my house was filled with flowers. And a note was written there. It was from a friend. And he came up like, I saw that name after 15 years. And
After
it was
15
sort
years?
of- yeah,
Okay.
After 15 years.
Okay.
And it was a very surprising thing, not just the flowers, but also the name that was written on that note, because I was seeing that after such a long time.
All right. Vikas.
And we found out that the flowers were not sent by a secret admirer. That was very unfortunate, and it turned out that it was somebody from my past. And the past is always, you know, another country which one should avoid visiting at all costs, because the visa fees are really expensive.
Is it just the visa fees that are expensive for cars?
And all the sort of baggage that comes with it.
Yes.
You know, extra baggage
The
costs a
collateral
lot
damage.
more.
All right, Meera.
Okay, and on the note, it also said a time and venue to meet.
Yeah.
And so I was quite intrigued. And on the designated date, I put on my clothes, I got dressed up, and just before leaving the house, I also took along a bottle of poison. That's just, you know, I always
We want to leave it
go in a-
open-ended.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Of course.
I could either drink the poison or
give
give
it-
it to the other guy. We don't know that.
So European in its context.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right, that's great.
Speaking of that, Meera, you've been brought up in a family that is related to the arts, to poetry, to theatre, to cinema as well. What have been your influences apart from your parents and grandfather?
I think it's almost impossible to not be influenced in such a situation. So, although in the sense that my cousin, my khala's son, who's, you know, again, same grandfather, he's a doctor. And all the rest of us are teachers, and we also kind of dabbled in the arts. Like I used to do theatre, and I do a bit of writing, and all of us also do a bit of writing. So it's fairly impossible to not be influenced by it. And then, of course, you develop your own interests as well. Like I was interested in film, and then when I went away to study film, then it opens up your eyes to a whole world of related.
How much space does a
arts.
creative person need when they're, you know, in a marriage?
I think if both people are creative, then it's because we
And-
both understand. At the time that I was acting, I haven't acted on television for a very long time. Of course, the hours are insane because, you know, it's not a very streamlined system at the moment. But he understands. And similarly, if he does a project or he used to do projects, so I understand. I don't sit there with, you know, a fat face. Well,
Right.
why aren't you home at 8 o'clock for dinner or whatever? Because again, I know there is, you know, no sort of
Yeah.
discipline as such. You can be there all night and you turn up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you can't sort of say to the other person, well, you know, I'm upset with you. So
Tell us
in
about
that
your
sense, it's a
favourite
good thing.
performance.
It's all Teen Bata Teen, so many other sitcoms that you were part of. Do you have any fond memories of those? Any incidents that
Must be.
happened?
I have fond memories of working with that team. I don't have fond memories of working in the heat and, of course, working late into the night for not very good money at that time.
At that time.
Because it was just starting. But yeah, I think some of the people that I worked with were really, really wonderful people. They were very creative people. I mean, they still are. Faisal Qureshi, Jawad Bashir, my cousin Adil, etc. And it was, we were all young and inexperienced. We had no idea what we were doing. And I think there's a sense of joy and freedom that gives you, not knowing what you're doing. I think as the system develops and maybe you grow older, you become more cynical. And we were not at that point. And we were actually happy to just have fun for very little compensation, monetary
But
compensation.
from monetary compensation, from the times that you did the television to now, when the television actors, like including my brother and others, get very good money to do projects,
Yeah.
and even in film that has resurfaced now in Pakistan, the actors are paid good money. They can make careers out of those. Do you feel that little urge to go back to the medium?
Not really, but only for the reason that I am a really hideously unambitious person. Like if something comes to me, it sounds interesting, then I'll do it. But I'm not looking to do
Alright.
something.
Alright.
So, for example, last year, Faisal Qureshi, who's always doing something or the other, he said, you know, I'm doing this project and I don't even know if it'll actually end up happening, but do you want to do a little role in it? So I said, fine. And I went off to Karachi for 3 days, did that in the heat. and again all-nighters. But it was fine. It was fun.
That's where passion comes in.
Yeah,
isn't
and
it?
it-
Yeah.
I was
if-
looking after the kids.
Ah,
Oh, but-
now
but
we
it's
know.
Let's give you a medal.
Okay.
Let's give you a
I'm
medal.
just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue our conversation. We are talking very candidly to three very interesting people. And it is, of course, Eid. Again, Eid Mubarak to all of you. We'll be back after a short break where we'll divulge some more details about these three people.
So don't change the channel.
Yes, stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching the Eid Show. We were kind of discussing stuff and
We're
laughing
having
it all out.
sort of like more interesting conversation off air when the cameras are off, you
Yes,
know.
and I was giving them some incidents from my life when I was a kid, and I was at Mira's grandparents' place, and I locked myself in the washroom. I was like four years old.
So that's part of
and
his
it
history.
It took a long time for all of them who were extremely worried about how I'm going to get out.
So you were a problem child.
Well, yes, but I was a very seedha sa, very simple.
A simple
kind of
problem
yes,
child.
simple
Oh, how cute. Okay, right. So we're going to get back to our guests now. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask you to guess an object or a famous personality, okay? And you each have, how many questions shall we give them?
3?
We can give them sort of questions each.
All right.
Or yeah.
All right,
or-
whatever
okay?
you want.
And then the one who guesses is the winner. Oh, my God.
What do we get?
Well, you
Lots
know,
of
we'll
love
make
and
sure
affection from us
That
and-
you just give us your address, and then we'll make sure
Right.
you will get a post.
Your check is in the mail.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start
I'm not going to
with.
finish that phrase.
Okay, we're going to start with a famous personality, and you each get one question, and we can just keep, moving the questions onto each other. And the one who guesses.
Is it like a new version of Kasauti?
Exactly. Exactly. See.
I missed that program.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that was a classic.
One of the-
absolutely.
one of the
classic Good programs.
That's so true. And we need programs like that. We need quality
Absolutely.
television. That's so
Programs
true.
like
Right.
that, we need
So
them.
you're making history right now, and you're
Thank you
doing
very
this
much.
sort of
I'm so proud of it.
Okay, Fiza, you have one question, and then we'll just keep rotating the questions. See who guesses first. So here, you can have your first question.
Okay, a famous personality,
Yeah.
male or female?
Male.
Okay.
Vikas.
How old?
Should these be yes/no questions or what? Because we won't know the specific answers.
Extremely old,
No.
but well, let's put it that way.
Age bracket? In their 50s,
I think
60s?
maybe you
50.
should ask if they're alive or dead.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I
You
meant.
see, we see where the intelligence comes from.
That's why I
Alive.
married her.
Alive.
Alive? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Okay. Which nationality?
British.
And industry?
Entertainment.
Okay. Entertainment is.
I give up.
You're not allowed. You're
an
not
option.
allowed.
Okay, a British
Shall I make it easier?
celebrity.
Yes.
British celebrity.
Still living,
Worldwide.
still working.
still,
Entertainment. Shall I make it easier for them?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Okay.
No?
Which part of entertainment?
yeah,
Yes,
and
exactly,
let me feed
because
you
I
the
said
Okay,
entertainment.
please.
Which part of entertainment?
Okay, cinema, music,
Film,
television, writing.
Comedy, television.
Cinema,
that-
comedy.
Next question.
television.
There are many personalities who are working in, who are British nationals and they're working in cinema and for TV. Any
Did I say comedy?
Yes,
yeah,
you did.
comedy,
You
okay.
did. You did. You did.
Stephen
Come
Fry.
on, guys. No.
Rowan
It-
Atkinson.
yes.
You got it.
You got it, Mr. Bean.
Bean.
Well
He
done.
was close.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
well,
friends.
It was either that or it was
well done, Meena got it. So she's going to get the gift
The
that you
mysterious
wanted
gift.
with us.
The mysterious gift.
She's going
That
to
will
get
be
that
in the
now in the
mail.
mail.
Well, whether
Okay.
she gets it or I do.
It's the
doesn't-
same thing.
Yeah.
All right, Naomi, you ask the next one.
All right. Which one should we ask? All right. A famous female Pakistani.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh,
No.
that's all. Now,
No, 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 you
about-
can't
no.
ask this one now. You've given her too much information. She's supposed to be asking you.
No, I've just given her
Okay.
this little bit. Let's continue from there.
Because it's very basic, I think.
Now from there.
Oh,
let's-
yes, it's very
yes.
basic. Should I tell you some more?
Let's go.
Female and Pakistani, and which industry? Obviously,
Film.
film.
Actress or director?
Actress.
current or past.
Past.
Past, then she must be old, obviously.
Dead or alive?
Alive.
Sangeeta?
No.
Sangeeta was a director as well. Is a director as well. Oh, is she? Is she
No, I don't think she's directing anymore.
but she did. This
Yeah.
person
Come on,
hasn't.
this is so easy. This one is really easy. He basically gave this one on a plate to you
Did you
guys.
say director or actor?
No, just actress. Actress,
actress.
female actor.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I know.
I misheard.
Who?
Meera ji.
No.
Come on, she's still current.
So, Fizza, you've got a
Our
question.
producer is saying Nasir Khan Jan.
No, Vikas, you won't get the gift. Sorry, you didn't guess
All right,
right.
Fizza. Let's
Come on,
go.
Fizza.
Come on.
Omar gave this on a plate to you guys, honestly.
Famous
But she's
film
fam-
actress of the past.
Pakistani cinema.
And still alive.
Still
Yes.
alive.
Still alive.
And might I say still working?
Really?
I'm so sorry,
Tough
I
one.
can't guess.
Sabiha Khanum?
No, you guys are close.
Same
You
age
guys are
bracket,
close.
I think, more or less.
Oh, come on, she dominated the Pakistan cinema for...
Bushra Ansari?
No.
No,
Film
she's
actress.
working.
Film
Sorry,
actress.
she's
Barbara
working.
Sharif.
No, you're so close. Come on.
Oh, well, Barbara Sharif and Sabiha Khanum are
And
a
who else was
generation.
there? Was that
and
that
then
time?
who else?
Come on.
Part of a
Only
very
one.
famous couple. She used to be part of a
Oh,
one.
Zeba ji.
No.
But she's
No,
not
well,
alive.
Oh,
another.
Do
Yeah.
not say
All right.
anything else. If you'll give it away if you say that.
One famous couple, she said, Seba and
Shabnam?
Muhammad Ali.
Yes,
Shabnam.
Shabnam.
Yeah.
She's now working in television serial. A series is about to come.
I wasn't aware of
Shabnam
that.
ji and Sabiha Khanum are definitely not the same generation, but Barbara Sharif and
Yeah, Barbara Sharif. Yeah, okay.
But Shabnam and Nadeem, Shabnam
Yeah.
and Waheed Murad
Yeah.
made.
Of course.
Aina is, I think, one of my favorites still to date. Nazrul Islam's film. I think films in Pakistan used to be so well made in the 70s. And then came the 80s era and all the Sultan Rahi and Juman films.
Okay, and now
So
we
should
have,
I also
and
expect
now
to
we
take
have
it
an
my way?
object. Okay, you guys have to guess this object. So
Shabnam,
the
you
first
didn't answer
question-
my question. Should I
Sorry?
also expect my mail?
Definitely, I said that. Yeah, you're going to get your gift.
Okay.
She guessed it, so she's going to get her gift,
All right.
isn't she?
All right. Yeah.
You don't have to look so sad. Umar. You know,
Because
you're supposed
I am
to be
not
happy.
getting a gift.
Happy for the guests, you know.
All right, I'm
Remember?
very happy for the guests.
Remember the sort of the
Yes.
Ramzan and everything. Okay.
All right,
So
last-
all right, the last
last.
one. You've got to guess this one. It's an object.
Okay.
Okay.
God, that's like a very vast.
It's an object. I can't say anything more than that. It'll give it away.
Do you,
I
do you
mean,
eat
can
it?
I?
Do you eat it?
No.
Do you wear it?
You use it.
You use it.
You use it. Okay.
Brain.
In our daily life?
Yes.
Daily life.
Okay.
Is it a solid object?
Yes.
I'm afraid that does not narrow it down. So I think we'll just have to kind of start throwing things
Yeah.
around until you know,
All
we
right,
give
I'll give a huge hint. All of us use it a lot.
Oh,
All of us who sitting here
Toothbrush?
use it.
Mobile phone.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, good.
Okay.
Oh, you always have to give these hints. I mean, it's
Could
amazing.
have been a
Can't you think of
toothbrush.
anything?
Could have been a toothbrush, and some
Yeah,
people
I
probably.
But I
realized.
said
gives
mobile
away.
phone.
He gives it.
Could
Yes.
have been a pen as well.
Could have been anything under the sun. It was a solid object.
So three of our guests have won
This is
prizes.
clairvoyance.
I mean, this
No,
is so. This
no,
is amazing.
This is called.
This has never happened before on the Eid
ES
Show.
It's ESG.
Where three of our guests have won prizes. It's amazing, isn't it? Everyone? I mean, that's a new
I'll
record.
keep my response to myself. I'm not getting a gift.
So we're the hosts. We don't,
Neither
you
are
know.
we, but
Well, theoretically, you are. Well, Meera, Waqas, Fiza, it was lovely to have you today on this part of the show. And especially Meera, because I insisted on your husband that you be here this time because you represent so much of Pakistan, especially from the cultural point of view, from film, television, and poetry, that this needs to be highlighted. Pakistan's soft image needs to be highlighted, and people
That
who
is the
work,
worst thing to say.
and people who
I
work in different fields need to be highlighted. Those people who have made Pakistan what they are, what it is today, need to be highlighted, and Meera is part of that family.
Well, thank you. That's very kind.
And a
Yes,
quick
what-
message for our viewers.
A message. Oh gosh, I'm very bad at these things because, you know, who am I
Any
to
message.
say anything? I think it just Eid Mubarak and
That's the-
have food, have fun.
Yeah.
Don't
But
overeat.
no, don't overeat or do. I mean, who cares? But yeah, and
YOLO.
also spare a thought for those less privileged
Yes.
because there are
Yes.
plenty of them, and be a decent human being in everyday life. That's all.
Fantastic.
That's nice.
Waqas,
Message?
Eid message, yeah.
Please.
Well, Eid Mubarak to all our viewers, and that's it.
Well,
Have
this
fun.
wasn't your 30 seconds, you know, for the story. You have to give a
Eid
bigger
Mubarak
message.
to the entire world, and have fun. It's Eid day. Go party.
Okay, great.
All right, Fiza.
All right, of
And you
course.
can also
Eid-
say Eid Mubarak to your
Eid.
husband as well. You must be missing him.
well, Eid Mubarak
be
to
shy.
all of
You can wave at him and say, "Hey, I'm on TV."
well, you know, you got a chance to look at me every day on TV because I'm reading news every day, by the way. So, well, Eid Mubarak to all of the viewers, and message is that do not overdo anything, do not overthink, do not overeat,
Overthink.
and you know,
Overthink is a good one.
take things lightly. You will live very happy.
Excellent,
Oh,
excellent.
sweet.
Okay.
All right. So, Shabnam, this brings us to the end of this show.
Yeah.
And from the both of us, Shabnam Riaz, Umar Khalid Butt, our guests, Meera, Waqas, Fiza, it's goodbye for now. I hope you'll have a great Eid. Have fun. Eid is for
Yeah.
that. Go
Continue
visit
having
your
a
family.
wonderful time.
Yes, and
Yeah.
meet your family. Meet those in
Get
your
rid
family
of old
and friends.
grudges.
Yes,
Yeah.
meet those who you haven't met in ages.
True.
And talk out your differences.
Yeah.
And make
Think
the
positively.
society, nation, and world a better place to live in. Allah
Okay.
Hafiz.